The defending Cup champions Wavell stayed high, featuring today's match in the Arrive Alive Cup. It is a Queensland quarter-final, and their opponents are Keebra Park High from the Gold Coast, and quite fitting for a match of this calibre. We're at the home of Rugby League in Queensland, that is Suncorp Stadium. A host of junior representative stars across both teams today. In fact, no less than 4 Queensland under-17 reps that played before State of Origin this year, so certainly shaping as a great contest, this one. The fact sheets, Wavell, they also made the final back in 1993 when they were beaten by St Gregory's, but their win last year over Terra Sancta really put them on the map. They are the strongest school in the Brisbane metropolitan area when it comes to rugby league. And Keebra Park, they haven't had a TV match for quite some time. In fact, 1996 the last time they had a television match. They made the Cup back in 1987, and this year they won the Broncos Challenge, beating Wavell High along the way. Now in their side is arguably the biggest star in schoolboy football. That is Benji Marshall. Now here's Benji in action, making his first grade debut for the West Tigers just a few weeks ago at Campbelltown against the Newcastle Knights. He's been selected in the Australian schoolboy side to play the Kiwis later this year. He is a real talent, and I'm sure he's going to make an impression on today's game. And here are the defending Cup champions. There's only one player backing up from last year's squad that we will see today. They've had a few injury problems through the year, which has hindered their experience, but all the same, it is still one of the gun teams in Queensland. They've only been outside the top 8 in this state once since 1993 in the Cup. It is quite a record. This is their side representing the school today. McKee at fullback, Marks and Tailford on the wings, Tutupu and English the centres, Samau and Brown the halves, and the forwards Coots, Marks, Sealer, Hanson, Blair and Holmes. And the man we've singled out as the player to watch in this side is their captain, Adam Blair. He's on scholarship with the Melbourne Storm. He also played in the Queensland under-17s this year, looking to lead from the front. And from the Gold Coast, Keebra Park High, Benji Marshall, the captain of this Keebra Park side. Just a very relaxed walkout onto Suncorp Stadium. They brought along the support. In the Broncos Challenge, they knocked over Wavell High this year. They knocked over Palm Beach Currumbin. It's probably enough to make them favourites for today's contest. Their side, Eastwood at fullback, Fruin and Harris on the wings, Ipo and Eastwood the centres, Marshall and Uasi the halves, and the forwards Leary, Keating, Morris, Moa, Williams and Francis. And we've pointed out Benji Marshall to you. Keep your eye also on number 8, Sam Moa, another player aligned with the West Tigers in Sydney. Last match, he scored 3 tries. A front rower getting a hat-trick. Referee is Justin Ruthenberg.
All right, let's go, guys. Time to run.
Here's a Queensland quarter-final. And a very, very competitive draw indeed. Queensland schools winning the last 2 cups. And first possession with Stephen English for Wavell High, and he almost lost the ball in the tackle. That was Troy Hanson. Brendan Tailford. Wavell and Keebra Park. There's more or less a Super 6 in Queensland, in southeast Queensland. And they are, of course, among that 6. And some good front-on defence there. Lock forward Leary for Keebra Park. With his second rower, Sean Morris. Now they come right. This is Troy Hanson again. Second touch in the set. Last year beating Terra Sancta in the final 22-20 on the back of the win by Palm Beach Currumbin in 2001. Greg Eastwood gets his first touch. We've got the Eastwood brothers in the back line for Keebra Park, and both players are on scholarship with the Brisbane Broncos. The fullback is the 16-year-old. Blair up in that tackle and adding some real force on the winger. Now for Moa. He's a mobile front rower. He's 105 kilos. But he likes to see a little bit of open space as well, as that 3 tries emphasised last match. And now, he fell into the tackle. Williams. Identify the clubs that all these players are aligned with as Moa gets another hit up. Running straight at Blair. 30 metres away from the line, and last tackle here for Keebra Park. Marshall has his first touch, utilising the chip and then finding Eastwood. Then back for Uasi on the last. And ends up only 5 metres from the line. Ruthenberg had called held, but exciting passage. First set from Keebra Park.
Nice little bit of variety there on tackle 5 instead of the big high kick, the short one over the top. Uasi had a wall of defenders in front of him, tried to get the ball away, couldn't do it. A bit of variety there on tackle 5. Nearly caught Wavell unaware.
Wavell come out of trouble with Tailford and running into plenty of trouble there. Moa front on.
I'll tell you what, Bossy, the first thing I notice about these two teams is how big they are. This is a very physical looking outfit from both sides. Obviously they're great rugby league schools, they've got good programs there, but some pretty big boys out here on display for schoolboy football.
Brown, the halfback, got the pass, but Uasi came up with it. But offside was the call. He had played advantage. Talking about the size of these two teams, Keebra Park, 8 New Zealand-born players in their team. It's a little program they've got going and encouraged by the West Tigers. They come across from New Zealand, they get their schooling here. They learn the game of rugby league a little better. Better competition to test themselves out week in, week out. Benji Marshall right at the moment is the star graduate, having already played first grade. They're put down there by Sealer. He rules a strip. I didn't know about that.
Well, I think he's ruled a flop here. Player coming in late on the tackle. Usually happens when you get a low tackle. Tackled around the legs, goes down, and yes, the player, Moa, coming in over the top there.
It's nice of luck, though. He had already lost control of the ball at that point as they attack left. And a nice ball from Blair, but put down. He's able to force the knock on. No great excitement just yet. Both teams not making the most of their chances.
Yeah, just wrap their defence. Their offence looks all right too. They've got good width, nice structure. They've got players in motion all the time. They've put a couple of balls down, but they've looked both dangerous both times. So as they settle down into this, we should see some pretty good football from them.
Here is Uasi. They could have penalised Wavell High for breaking a little early, and they will, in fact.
Early, fellas. Get back.
They got offside. They got breaking the scrum early. They had it all wrong there, Wavell High. Second rower breaks before the ball comes out.
And I guess that's a little bit of pressure, knowing that you've got a player like Benji Marshall with big raps in the opposition team. No doubt their coach would have said try to cut down his time with the ball, his thinking time with the ball. They'd be prepared to give away a penalty or two just to make sure they're keeping that player in check.
Look at the number 11 early. Matt Keating, a hit up there to halfway. It's been a hard-working back row, in fact. Morris takes that one.
I like the look of this game. I mean, if you can tell a game by the opening minutes of it, I think we're in for a real good game of football here. They look like two very good quality sides.
The player tackled 35 metres away from the Wavell line. Marshall's got the ball, delivering a short pass for Eastwood. And just dropped it off there into his chest. And a good tackle from Blair. It was a key tackle for Wavell there. Marshall, another short pass for Uasi. They are now only 10 metres from the line, but it is the last tackle for Keebra. And Francis decides to go for a run out of dummy half and comes up short of the line, and it is a changeover.
Yeah, nice little pass here from Benji Marshall. It's very rare that you see a schoolboy footballer with such soft hands. Here we see the hooker for Keebra Park, Francis, running on the 5th tackle and trying to keep the defence asleep. Gee, the referee's having a big game. Vossi, this is about the 12th penalty we've had.
He's warmed up the whistle early.
He's got himself into the action.
A high tackle there, and it is a relieving penalty at that for Wavell.
Just back to that pass from Benji Marshall. It's very rare to see a schoolboy footballer with such soft hands and such fine touch. He's obviously a very talented young player. Got a long way to go, but the signs are certainly there.
Saw a hit up from Tavo. He's come into the match off the bench, who's now Sealer. Player that is aligned with the Melbourne Storm. A good offload there for Holmes. He's with the Brisbane Broncos. Not able to capitalise on another chance in the footwork of Marshall. Benji Marshall is away for Keebra Park, and he's got plenty of speed away from the halfback Brown, and Marshall gets to the corner. They were coming from everywhere, but he backed himself all the way, and it is 4-0 to Keebra Park.
Well, again, Wavell looked dangerous with the football. As I said, they've got good structure and good width in their play. Created a little half chance off this offload back through the middle of the ruck. That's their hooker, Holmes, who made a dash, had support on the outside, couldn't quite find the mark, and they've just dropped it in front of the wrong bloke. But what's the left foot step here he puts on? He picks up the ball, kabang. Now, you don't want to put raps on kids, but the last time I saw a kid step like that was about 15 years ago. His name was Fittler. Very, very similar sort of footwork. Great step.
Joe Harris has the first kick for Keebra Park. He's another one of the New Zealand-born players in the side. Of Auckland Grammar, and his first kick of the day. Strong off the boot but wide, but Keebra Park, they are on the board here in the Arrive Alive Cup. It is 4-0 over the defending Cup champions. Brad McKee restarting play for Wavell High. Keebra Park, great confidence lift on the back of that try to their captain Marshall. And the hit-up return from Williams. And followed up. Oh no, he's lost the ball at the finish of the tackle. And it is reefed away. It's all going Keebra Park's way at the moment.
Just hold up, guys.
Yeah, the ball comes loose in the tackle. I don't think he just lost that. But as we so often see in rugby league today, even in the NRL, referees tend to give the offence the benefit of the doubt there. They give them the penalty. 6 more tackles. And Wavell just got to hold on here a little bit. They're playing quite well, Wavell. Probably don't deserve to be behind on the scoreboard. But they won't want it to get any worse than this before they strike themselves.
Forward it is. Running inside the 30. Wavell under a little bit more pressure. And he's building on them. And Keating gets it to within the 20-metre zone now. Francis for Uasi. And the inside pass that time for Moa. He certainly does plenty of running. One of the Wavell players ended up holding his face out of that exchange. So they are one man down in the defence. Keebra Park with a big opportunity for Morris.
I'm going for 4, guys.
Moa is very much a battering ram, isn't he?
Yeah, Sealer came in very, very hard from the inside. Brave effort. I think he just caught the elbow on the side of the head there, and then another clash. Bounced out of it, but he went in very hard. It was a good tackle.
Well, Abraham Sealer back on his feet. That's good for Wavell. There's another one of the Storm junior players in this side, but play resumes and it's still pressure on Wavell as Keebra Park go wide with Eastwood. And he will get to the goal line. There's some doubt about the put down, but he likes it, Shane Eastwood. Referee doesn't mind it either. And it is the second try for Keebra Park. And an 8-0 scoreline.
Keebra Park took advantage here for the stoppage with the injury. Set up a nice play on the right-hand side of the field. Second man play, just created space on the outside. Joining in was Eastwood, the big dummy. He was able to push his way across the line and force the ball down. Well, gee whiz. Maybe for another angle here we might find something different. And as he goes to slam it down, oh, that's fair enough. I'll give him that one. He squeezed that one out.
Goes back a fair distance. He's outside the 20. His first strike wasn't that bad. The second one is not that good. And again unsuccessful. But 8-0 is the score. 2 tries on the board for Keebra Park.
Let's go, boys!
Wavell, the Cup champions. They know they are in a game here. They've struggled to get field position. Little juggle there by Greg Eastwood. Right on his own goal line. Probably didn't need to make the play on it. The front row was there. Keebra Park is outside their 20 with Uasi and well handled there at a dummy half. And knock on against the halfback. So this is the chance that Wavell have been sweating on.
Well, Wavell, they haven't completed a set of 6 at all yet in this game. I'm yet to see them kick the football. I think their first goal here is to at least get to the 5th tackle, then come up with a constructive 5th tackle play. Just try and put some pressure on. Well, they're not even going to get the ball from the scrum.
Well, that scrum, the forming of it was very rugby-like. The back row down on their knees. They engaged and they pushed them right off the mark and it ended up with a football. We just don't see that.
Hands off, hands off.
At any level of the game. With Shane Eastwood, he's on the left side of the field now. He will join Benji Marshall in that Australian schoolboy team later this year to play New Zealand. There's Keating. Another hit up for that second rower, Uasi. Marshall has it. He's got the second rower there. That is Morris coming from very deep. 15 away, last tackle here with Keebra Park. Uasi had him lined to the left and he decided to kick it. Ricocheted off the legs of Coots. Wavell come up with the ball, but I tend to think the outside men for Uasi, for Keebra Park, they were screaming for the football. Wavell will come away from their own line. For all the opportunities they've had, I suppose 2 tries conceded. Wavell's not such a bad result because Keebra Park have had many visits to that 20-metre zone, getting to the last tackle and not coming up with a result. Now high kick from the dummy half, that is Holmes. And Eastwood able to attack that football. Keebra Park begin this set inside the Wavell half. This is Fruin. And some impact in that hit, front on from Sealer. 35 from the line. Another run for Keating.
They're a good patient side, Keebra Park. They just knock it up through their forwards, play to one zone of the field. As they get a penalty here for holding down and the play of the ball. But they're obviously very well coached, very well structured. They don't panic when they get the football. They go forward going in the right direction, and then Marshall sets his outside backs up on the right-hand side of the field there. That's where Eastwood, the other fullback, Eastwood's out there as well. Here they go.
And Marshall has it, and a floating pass that time for Greg Eastwood, the fullback. And offloading for his brother, Shane Eastwood. On that goal line, back for his brother. Well, what about that? He loses the ball right there. And it comes up with Tavo for Wavell.
Well, did he lose it, or was it kicked out of his hands? Eastwood to Eastwood to Eastwood. And now the ball goes westward. He kicked it.
There you go. One for boots and all. I was thinking there's 3 brothers out there. There's not 2.
Isn't that a penalty try?
Well, it is.
And we see a little bit of tiredness here starting to creep in from Wavell. All their defence, all of a sudden they get the ball, they can't control it. And just another opportunity here for Keebra Park.
And it was put down by Samau. As you say, they are tiring. And Morris has it for Keebra Park. They're only 5 away. Here is Francis. 3 in the tackle. They're able to lock up the ball as well. Brown was there, so was Holmes. Keebra Park left with Marshall, Uasi. Samau takes him front on. And Tutupu is there as well for Wavell. This is desperate defence for the Cup champions. Marshall with a dummy. This time finds his centre Ipo, and that is try number 3. He's got them guessing. They don't know what's coming their way.
Yeah, and again he plays short. He played short on the previous ray. Here's the turnover. Tiredness this is getting your tackle count up, and then when you get the ball you're a little bit tired to concentrate on your job. Dummy inside, play the short ball outside. Beautiful hands, great ball playing, show inside, draw the centre and push the other fella into the short gap. He likes to play into short holes. That's what I really like about his ball playing at this age.
The centre Ipo gets the reward. Harris gets his first kick on the left side of the field. Over from touch.
He takes it back a bit too far and he leans the ball backwards, which all the modern day kickers tend to lean it forward flat. You can see there the ball spins too quickly and you can't get enough effort on it.
So no goal, and again the crowd not impressed. It's 12-0. Keebra Park playing some good footy though in the Arrive Alive Cup over Wavell. Wavell another kick off. A half that they will be disappointed with the handling errors. They've defended okay for much of the half, but they've still conceded the 3 tries. They're up against some good ball players here.
I wouldn't lose heart if I were Wavell. They've shown some very encouraging signs for mine. They haven't had any good quality possession at the moment, maybe their own doing, but they can just settle down a little bit and maybe be the next to score. And for a first-year team, a lot of these are first-year players in this competition. They show a lot of potential.
As he delivers the pass for Keating. Again, the defence is very solid. Sealer, he seems to be their terminator in defence. He's shortened a few blokes up today. Now Marshall kicks from inside the 40. He's got the angle on the kick just a little too deep. It is out on the full. And this is a wonderful chance for Wavell coming up to half-time. Not prepared to say that they can win the scrum, though. There's been one against the feet already. The touch judge putting plenty of effort into that flag. Shades of Gould last year.
Well, if they don't let the scoreboard affect them, if they don't try to get too anxious too early, try to complete some sets of 6 here, then I'm sure they've got a little bit to offer Wavell. I like what I've seen from them. It's just a matter of whether or not they can control the football.
The cry of push came from the Keebra Park scrum, and they almost came up with the ball again. And somehow they go left, they've put it down. It was Brown this time, but a penalty.
You guys have got to get back.
He's the way, he's got more than just one offside. Blair wants a quick restart. So Wavell coming up to half-time, and the front rower, the captain, is 5 from the line. They trail by 12 points to 0. And here is the chance. They get in goal. They may well have forced it. They have. This will be a Wavell try to their hooker. Fletcher Holmes has got the Cup champions' first points.
Take a bow, Adam Blair, the captain of the side. Here's the scrum. They nearly lost this one. Good push there from Keebra Park. They dropped the ball on tackle 2, but were given a penalty for the Keebra Park defence rushing up quickly. And the captain raced in, took the tap, said, "I'm the man, follow me." Brushes them aside, gets them out of the way, nearly gets there himself, but gets up. Good quick play, the ball. They're able to race in from dummy half and score a much-needed try. And with a conversion, Vossi, they may only be 6 behind after all everything we've seen.
Brad McKee is the kicker. Yeah, it's been a remarkable turnaround for Wavell. Just a few minutes ago, it was looking rather bleak. And now to get the margin back to 6, and that is what McKee has done. 12 points to 6, and that completes the first half. Two of the strongest sides in schoolboy rugby league in Queensland, two of the strongest sides in the country, going head to head. It is Keebra Park from the Gold Coast. The Cup champions Wavell, 12 points to 6. We'll take a break and come back with more of the Arrive Alive Cup. Second half, the Arrive Alive Cup, this Queensland quarter-final, and Wavell running from right to left the second half. And a forward pass straight from the kick-off for Keebra Park. It was right on the goal line. The pass to Williams, I think they got it right, and a line dropout.
Well, he's ruled that it was actually in goal when he did it, and it was right. It was a forward pass. And all of a sudden, a great opportunity for Wavell. They scored in the last minute before half-time. A try in the first minute of the second half. We could be tied up, Vossi.
Here is the chance. And Keebra Park, a line dropout, 45 metres on the fly. And it is Troy Hansen who comes back. And there is some impact in that tackle. He did well to stay on his feet as long as he did. Leary and Williams were doing the driving. 25 metres away. Wavell fighting back from 12-0 down early. This is Rodney Brown. Jarring tackle there by Morris. It is on the Keebra Park 20 with Brown. He delivers a short pass for Blair. And Blair around the corner. A superb offload for English to score. Adam Blair is showing his talents, the captain for Wavell High. And now it's 12-10.
Two great bits of skill on display here from Adam Blair, the captain, who had a big hand in the first try before half-time. Here's the incident that gave up possession. When you catch a kick-off, it's very, very handy if you run forward a few paces before you pass. But watch the right foot step there, the in and away, and then the right hand around the corner to put his number 4, English, in for the try. This will look great from front on. It's taken by Blair, and beautiful right foot step to the outside of the defender, then the right hand around the corner. That's real talent and a good try.
This kick to level the scores at 12-all. Young Brad McKee. 7 in from touch. He strikes it high, hits the upright. It is 12-10. It is 3 tries to 2. Keebra Park with their noses in front. Keebra Park now with just a slender lead. Wavell High, the Cup champions, playing with pride, even though so many of these players weren't a part of the squad last season. In fact, only the 5'8" Smith Semau was in that squad. 3 other players backing up. 3 of their best players, Bond, Fellini, Cole, all members of the side last year, are on the injured list. They've also got their regular halfback out. Young bloke who signed with Penrith. Dennis, here's an intercept for Marshall. It can all turn very quickly though. Eastwood now. Keebra Park, 15 metres from the line. And the ball has been lost. Blew the whistle. I thought he was going to say penalty. Here was the intercept for Marshall.
Yeah, Brownie had a number of players in motion out on the edges, but Benji Marshall took the odds to it and came up with the intercept. Had he not, it may well have been 6 points the other way. The let off there for Wavell.
A few times in the first half as well. Samau is tackled.
Hands off, don't push him down.
No stage have they led in this game. To Tupu. Looking for more from him in the second half. He's one of those Queensland under-17 representatives. Keebra Park coach Greg Lennon. He's been around in this level of footy for many years. He's devoted a lot of his time, 14 years as coach, in fact, of Keebra Park. Hansen bouncing away from tackles. Almost back to halfway. One of the Keebra Park players has been hurt in that exchange.
No control.
We've got another drop ball. Injured player is Harley Williams.
No, there wasn't.
Well, they're their own worst enemies, Wavell. Again, another set of 6 they won't complete. They haven't completed their set of 6, I believe, in the whole game.
Feed.
Scrum just inside the Wavell half. Marshall had to stretch forward to come up with a ball, but he's linked up with Eastwood, the fullback. There's plenty of him, 16 years of age, a year younger than his brother. Both players quite talented. Now with Harris, he's 15 from the line. Blair gets in to assist Brown in the tackle. Keebra Park up by 2, they've got a penalty here. It is against the Wavell captain Adam Blair. Going for goal with the tap. It is Morris. This pressure on the Wavell defence. It happened many times in the first half. With it is Sam Moa for Keebra Park.
You've got big numbers to the left here, Vossi.
Francis gets it going left with Williams, Uasi. Little juggle there. The defence is able to regroup. Unless they got in each other's way there, Keebra Park. Marshall passes up for Williams. Harley is fired up. He's only a metre from the goal line. Francis left for Marshall to kick. Got a deflection on the way through, and Wavell, good work at the back from Brendan Tailford. Line drop out for Wavell High.
Good football from both sides. Very committed in defence, Wavell. They realise they can't afford to concede another try at the moment. Keebra Park trying to hit back after they've conceded a couple of tries either side of half-time.
This is the tackle on Williams. Just look for a little facial in here. Now it still goes on in the game. Been happening since 1908. Muller is ready to come back for Keebra Park. Certainly open the game at a great rate of knots. And it is Morris. Now 20 from the line. And we're in a contest here. Brown was there in defence. Out of dummy half goes Shane Eastwood. And able to offload for Francis. Blair is there in defence and also getting across Tavo. Wavell High again on their goal line. Long pass past Uasi. Wavell could come up with the ball. Taken on the toe. And now able to run is Samau. And he will still run away from Uasi. And then is hit in a tackle by Keating.
Great play there from Samau. He got up quickly off his line, got the ball, towed it forward, secured it for his team and still come up with a good run. They're away.
Tupu, he's inside the 30 for the corner. Eastwood gets across. Tupu gets there for Wavell High. And they're in front for the first time in the match. The coach is keeping a cool head. But what a fight back this has been.
Oh, good work by Samau. I said it before. He got possession for his team. Raced up quickly in defence, towed it forward, could have got excited and kicked it again, but thought, no, we haven't had the ball, I'll pick it up. Then came up with a terrific run back in field, just to chew up a little bit more defence. And from the ensuing play, the ball to Tupu, found himself in space on the right-hand side of the field, shrugged off a defender, and then pinned his ears back for the try line. Didn't look in, didn't look out, just got his sights on the goal line and raced across in the corner to score. I'm pretty happy about it too.
Brad McKee. 1 from 2. His last one hit the upright. This to have his side in front by 4. Fullback for Wavell. And 25 metres out. Not the power in this kick. But the Cup champions, they are putting up a fight. They are defending their title. 14-12 over Keebra Park. We thought at the top of today's coverage that this would be one of the games of the year. And certainly for tension it is. And a few handling errors, but there's been some great defence and scintillating attack at times as well. And Wavell in front. And there is a ball stripped out in the tackle. It was a good one from Uwasi on Tailford. The game swings again. Keebra Park back in possession. 20 metres out with Moa. Keebra Park knocked out of last year's competition by Wavell. 14 points to 6. Here is Keating. He's 10 from the line. He's worked so hard for Keebra Park. Now back with Williams. All determination. To within 3 of the line. It was Holmes hanging on for dear life for Wavell. Uwasi, Marshall. This time throws long for Harris. And Harris with some power. But he has put the foot over the touchline. And still it is tense in the stands here. With a 2-point margin.
Well, I'm tense. I'm tense every time this fella Benji Marshall gets the ball. This time he went long. And I don't know that... Well, I can't see a foot on the line there at all. I think he's danced down the inside of the touchline there, and that should have been a try.
That's a big call against Keebra Park. With Josh Tutupu. I know I'm going a long way back, but Keebra Park, way back in 1994, they had a super side. It included Dallas Hood, who went on to play first grade with the Roosters. They got some very bad refereeing decisions in a semi-final. They were in tears at the end of the day. They lost to Eaglevale a year that they thought they were capable of winning the title. Could look back on that decision as the one that's knocked them out this year. Still plenty of time though in the game. I know the coach remembers it. Greg Eastwood. Here is Sealer. He's been solid in defence. And that time, plenty of determination in his run. Last tackle for Brown to kick. Back is Harris, the man who was denied the try. Smoking Joe Harris. They were a little early to tag him with that nickname.
Well, that was only the second time this game that Wavell have got to their kick. And you can just see here that the Keebra Park forwards have started to bunch behind to play the ball. They're tired. So if Wavell do a little bit more of that, get to their 5th tackle and turn them around, they just might wear this side down.
And Marshall tries that step that has got a hop in it. And Francis, little hooker, was through 2 and almost through a 3rd. He's collected there by Sealer. There were numbers there on the left-hand side if they came that way. Eastwood plays for himself, the fullback, and is going to get a penalty out of this. I don't think the defender could have got out of the way, to be honest, after Eastwood kicked. They get the penalty, Keebra Park. And Eastwood goes for another run. This is the fullback, Greg Eastwood. 9 metres from the line. His brother has come in closer to the action too, Shane Eastwood. Here he is with the ball. And now only a metre out. Got a try in the first half. Right on the goal line. Keebra Park down by 2 against Wavell. Marshall. It's 3-on-1 on this side. They've coughed it up. A chance goes begging as Nigel Fruin unable to hold the ball.
They had the numbers. The pass was good. The pass was good. Just had to hold on to this one. Good work there by the Wavell winger, number 5, Tailford. Didn't come up with a tackle, but he was able to be a little bit patient, at least put some pressure on the ball carrier and force the error.
Wait for the ball.
Here comes the big push on the scrum from Keebra Park. Wavell able to hold firm. A couple of changes ready to be made. Hansen and Marks ready to come back in for Wavell. 2 of the starting forwards. Away for Brown, little step. One of the clutches there of the front row of Moa and a last tackle. So one of their kickers out of play, and it's left to the second rower, Sealer, to get the kick in. He's found space. It's a pretty good effort from Sealer. Well, he's got it inside the 20. Well, he's not the first choice kicker, Abraham Sealer, but he's put in a beauty there for a 40-20.
And he was pretty happy with himself too. Gave it a good nudge, yeah, well inside the 40. Went high, got a good kick forward. Had some chase coming down there too, but the winger was in no position to get back and have a look at this. How'd you like that, boys? Something.
Well, a post 40-20 reaction.
I don't know what those signs mean, but it's pretty good, I reckon.
I think it means I'm demand, I think is the expression, Philip. And Keebra Park look like they're ready to be cracked here. Coots took it from the scrum. 1 metre out from the line, they have a little dash through Holmes and held up. Right hand defence is very short here. They need to find it out to this left side for Wavell. Samau. He was in 4 minds there. Don't worry about 2. 9 metres from the line. Brown. Back infield. They come with Holmes. He's got a bit of white line fever, this hooker. Brown again. Collected by Uasi. Somehow they get the 5th tackle in defence, Keebra Park. And then the hit-up is taken by Marks on the last and a changeover. That's a calamity, that set of 6.
Yeah, 4 really done plays. Good break off the scrum base to get within an inch of the line, and then they came up with 3 done plays in a row. A couple of dummy half dabs, a hit up on tackle 5 when a kick was needed. Just relieved the pressure there for Keebra Park, who were at 6s and 7s.
They survived, Keebra Park. They led 12-0. They're down 14-12. A contest that has had only the 1 successful kick. 3 tries all. Uasi on the 40, back for Harris. Harris is collected there by Brown, who was on the deck. Keebra Park are 9 inside their own half. Francis and Marshall, the time is now to produce something with a short kick. It's not collected by Eastwood. It was pressure play, and now play on for Keebra Park. They come up with a ball, the lock forward. That is Leary.
Well, they had a knock on 20 metres back.
Eastwood, the man who was trying to regather the chip. Marshall with a step. He's 9 metres from the line. And now the little mousetrap play for Harley Williams to take it to within 5 of the line. He's like Holmes at the other end. Williams just wants to run at that goal line, get a 4-pointer. He's desperate for 1. Now Eastwood passes out for the second rower, Keating. And that is superb defence from Wavell State High. He's got a forward pass in any case.
Yeah, they were outnumbered again here, Wavell, but they didn't panic. They just held their line, slid out, give themselves a chance. Forced Keebra Park to come up with a play. And again, it was the winger, tail forward there, who played it pretty smart. He didn't rush up and create the extra man for his opposition. He just waited, allowed the pass to come, gave someone a show at the line, and then tackled him.
Tupu there as well in defence. And Wavell quick to get this scrum done and dusted. Running off their own line with Brad McKee.
This game's really in the balance, isn't it? I mean, 2 points of difference, 7 minutes to go in the game. We said right at the start, if the beginning of a game would give you any indication, we thought it would be tight. It certainly turned out that way. And I guess it's going to come down to mistakes and just taking your opportunity.
Well, here's an opportunity now for Samau. With the white boots, he's all style. He's done some really good things in this game. And back infield, this is Harrington. Here's a big play, this one. Penalty for offside. Wavell High with a little run up here.
Yeah, they've handled this second half a lot better, Wavell. Inspired by the try just before half-time. Struck very early in the second half with another one.
Boys, come on.
Got to the lead with a long-range one. Now they come down with 6 minutes left on the clock. A set of 6 inside the opposition quarter. A try here could seal the game.
Blair almost went straight through from the restart. 8 metres out from the line. Here is Harrington. Some structure here. Someone needs to take charge close to the line. Brown will attempt to do that, the halfback. But the defence too good. Leary came up that time. 10 metres out. They come back left with Hanson. The front rower is held up by the defence of Williams. Right on the goal line. Slow play the ball. Chance left with Brown. He's going to rule Uasi offside, is he?
Yeah, Uasi was a mile offside there. He was outnumbered. He knew he had to make a decision, but the referee caught him. Another set of 6 here, and I think they're going to go for 2 points, which is a very interesting decision. I don't really see the difference in being 2 in front or 4 in front with only 5 minutes left on the clock.
Brad McKee with 1 from 3.
He's a conventional kicker, this boy. Lays the ball well forward. Got a good strike on it. Look at that. Straight over the black dot.
Well, there's 2 to the tally. Biggest lead they've had in the game. Wavell High, 16-12 over Keebra Park. Well, what a game this is. Keebra Park restarting. A short kick off there from Eastwood. Good deception. And a quick recover from Wavell High to Tupu. Eastwood at the last moment, he knew what he was doing, but at the last moment he twisted his body and kicked left and short. There was only one Wavell player there to get it. Now Samau 40 out from his own line.
Very bunched up, this Keebra Park defence, trying to force an error. Just a couple of passes here would get outside them.
Those two for Holmes. 42 away from the Keebra Park line. Brown, they come back with Blair. This is a front rower, mind you, running through the gap. 20 metres now from the goal line. Last tackle with Brown, and he will bomb. We haven't seen too many of these today. Kicking out wide, Keebra Park have to challenge the ball. They come up with it. And the chase is good, but not enough to force the line dropout.
Yeah, great set of 6 there from receiving the kickoff. Finally got the ball wide. Blair found space. Intelligent kick on tackle 5. Now they have to defend at the right end of the field.
Match that is going to go down right to the final minute as Fruin makes metres out of dummy half. They're outside their 20. Another hit up for Keating. Keating is taken high. It all helps.
Not what Wavell needed, but certainly what Keebra Park needed. Now, Vossi, in this game, if they score a try here and it gets to 16 all, does that mean they win on a countback?
They would. Keebra Park, if they were to score, they don't even need to convert. They would win 4 tries to 3. That's the state of play. And if somehow tries were to finish level, Keebra Park would also win because they scored the first try. So, bottom line is they have to come up with a try, but in some ways they're in the box seat if they can force some points.
All the more reason why I wonder about that kick and goal a couple of minutes ago, just to extend the lead before.
Samoa. 30 metres from the line, tackle number 1. Keebra Park in possession, trailing by 4 points. Nathan Wright. He's 21 from the line. Uasi. Now is the time for Benji Marshall to rescue his team. He passes there for Eastwood, who unloads for his brother. This is Shane Eastwood. Now 11 from the line. They're going to whack this Wavell defence though. They hang on. Marshall again, thought about kicking. Short pass, Uasi. He's only 5 from the line. And still tackles up their sleeve. Francis. Marshall. Another pass. The defence holds firm again. On Eastwood this time. It's the last tackle and could be their last chance. They get it back, they'll keep it alive. Uasi, now only a few metres from the line, he'll be held up. Superb defence by the Cup champions.
Yeah, good attack, good defence, good football from both sides. Schoolboy football at its absolute best. Marshall threw everything at them in that set of 6. 3 great passes, put men into half gaps. But the Wavell defence very, very desperate. Now they just want one good set of 6 coming out of trouble with a kick. No mistakes.
Don't want to go too slow into the tackles. There's always a chance of a ball being stripped here, one-on-one. You don't want to submit too early. Wavell 10 metres out from their line. Desperate to count down the clock here. Blair will take another hit up. It's been really strong for them. Last tackle is where they want the kick.
Keebra Park will get the ball with about 40 seconds left in the game.
Oh, deflection from Brown, a little bit of luck there for Wavell. Comes up for Eastwood. It ends up okay for Keebra Park. Now Shane Eastwood across field. They've got a little over 30 seconds remaining. 25 metres out. Benji Marshall with a step, then tries another step, then tries a third step. 20 metres out from the line, still with Marshall for the winger, and a massive tackle. I'm sure it was Blair who got across there on Fruin. The front rower and captain has come up with a great tackle to save his side.
Well, it's about his 5th big play of the game. He chased right across from the play of the ball to put some pressure on here. Great shot over the top while he was juggling it. And they're going to win, Wavell. They've come from 12-0 down to score a great 16-12 victory.
And their coach Brendan Barlow happy, but no more so than the players. Have a look at them. The young players of Wavell High have won this Queensland Cup quarter-final and take a step closer to retaining the crown in a high contest. The captain is leading the cheering. They defeat Keebra Park High 16-12, and Adam Blair, our Arrival Live player of the match, getting the $100 from our very good sponsors, and there's been no more deserving winner all year. Well, we've got another great contest coming up next weekend. It will be Terra Sancta College, the beaten finalists of last year, taking on St Gregory's. Hope you'll join us then. Until then, enjoy your footy.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.